Hello, grade 9 students. So today it is a new topic, subtopic. So today it's our theory lesson. So today we are planning to discuss significant figures and decimal places. So both the concepts you have discussed in the lower grades, but I will discuss it one more time because we are discussing few advanced sums, not like in the grade 8 and grade 7, right? Okay, so then first of all, we will realize that what are significant figures. Now, if you come across with something like this, right? So I'll write the topic. It should be in black color, significant figures, right? So I want to make it black. And that is the subtopic. So then how you are going to write, let's say you have 4,283, right? So this we call the first significant figure. So inside the bracket here, we want to write that the significant figure that we write SF, right? If I write something like this 1 SF, this is the first significant figure. So this is the second significant figure, okay? And this is the third significant figure, and this is the fourth significant figure, right? So this is how we categorize them. Now, what I'm planning to do, I will give you a note. So then you want to write what is the first significant figure and what is the second significant figure and then the third significant figure like this. I'll give you few numbers. So let's say we have 2053 like this. What is the first significant figure? It is 2. The second significant figure, it is 0. Third significant figure, 5. If I have 0.002, what to 5, what is the first significant figure here? Again, 2 is the first significant figure and 5 is the second significant figure. Now you might think why teacher didn't consider the first 3 zeros as the first significant figure. Why teacher selected 2 as the first significant figure? Keep this in your mind, children. Always a significant figure, the first significant figure. So I repeat, the first significant figure, always it should be a number between 1 and 9. Okay, it cannot be 0. But if you have something like this 0.0203, now what is the first significant figure? Here 2 is the first significant figure. 0 is the second significant figure. With 0 inside the bracket, I write between 2 and 3. Okay. So that's 0 I'm talking about, not the first 2 zeros. And the third significant figure is 3. Okay. Now, the early example, the second example, the first 2 zeros, 3 zeros, they are not significant figures. But in the third example, the 0 in between 2 and 3, I considered as the second significant figure. Now, you can understand, children, any number of zeros you have in the front, we don't care. We should come across with a number between 1 and 9 as the first significant figure. After that, if you come across with zeros, those will be significant figures. For an example, if I give you something like this, let's say 0.2005. What is the first significant figure here? I'll take another number. Otherwise, that you might think that always the first significant figure is 2. So then here it is 4. Second significant figure is 0. And this is also 0. Right? So then the after 4, this 0 that I'm talking, I want to define it after 4. And this is before 5. So this 0 I'm talking about, the 0 before 5. Then the other 0 I'm talking, the 0 after 4, right? So then those two zeros, both the zeros become significant figures, but the front 0, that is not the significant figure, right? Let's say they have given a number out. They have given a number 1893. And you want to correct this to the first significant figure, let's say. You want to consider this to first significant figure. So you have 1893. You underline the first significant figure. And you look at the next number. When you look at the next number, if it is 5 or more than 5, we need to add 1. To where we need to add 1? To the underlying number. So then that becomes 2. Then the rest of the digits will be 0. And inside the bracket, I write 1SF. What does this mean, children? 1893 is approximately equal to 2000 if I correct it to first significant figure. Let's say the same way, I have 1893. So this is the second significant figure. And you look at this. And here, what happened? That when you look at this, 1893, so then here it is 9. You want to add 1. To where you need to add 1? To the underlying number. So then that becomes 1009. Rest of the digits will be 0. And here you write 2SF. Right? And then third one, let's say 1893. You look at the third significant figure. Look at the next number. Do I need to add anything here? No, because it is less than 5. 1890. And we write 3SF. Okay. So then when you're correcting something to the first significant figure, you can see only one digit. The other rest of the digits are 0. If it is the two significant figure like this, right? So then you want to know how we are going to correct to the, let's say I take another example, 5985, right? So this one, how do you do? The first one, 5985. I underline this, the first significant figure. So then the next one is more than 5. So then this becomes 6000. And inside the bracket, I write 1SF. Okay. So then the second one, 5985. So then this one, that again, the second significant figure. I look at the next number, that is 8. When it is more than 8, that this one, children, I want to add 1 to the underlying number now. When I add 1 to the underlying number, that 9 become 10. And that 1 that you write 0 here and 1 you add with this and you have 6000. Hope it is clear. So you add 1 here, that becomes 10. From 10 you write only 0 here. That 1 you add with this 5, that becomes 6. Then the rest of the zeros that you keep with zeros. Rest of the digit you keep with 0, right? That is how it works. So then here inside the bracket I write 2SF. Now you might think that we get the same answer. Doesn't matter. You define it that whether you have corrected it to the first significant figure or the second significant figure, that is important, right? So then the third one, let's say 5985 approximately equal to, this is the third one. Look at the next one. So then that becomes 5990 and third significant figure. Hope it is clear for all of you. If you can't understand, please comment in the video itself, then I'll explain that what are the doubts you have. Right. So then the next part I want to explain you the decimal places. Now, if I write something like this, 43.6785, right? Now you just see what I am doing. I'm going to define this in a different way. So I'll take this one. I can name this 4 in different ways. So what it is? The one is, it is the tens place, right? And then the first tens place, first significant figure, it's like that. If I take this one, how can I explain this? This is the units place. This is the units place. And this is the second significant figure in this number. And what is this? So this is the decimal point, right? We call that decimal point. Okay. And the next one, right? So this one we say tens place, right? Tens place, right? Third significant figure and first decimal place, right? So then if I take another number, that this one, how do you write this? So then you can write this is the hundredths place. Hundredth place, fourth significant figure. And then this is 2dp. Right? So then the next one I'll write here to this side. Okay. So this is what? This is thousands place, right? Thousands place. Thousands place. And this is fifth significant figure and third decimal place. Hope it is clear for all of you, right? So that means that the same digit, it takes different role based on the concept. If we are talking about the place values, we do have tens place, units place, tens place, hundreds place, thousands place. If you are talking about the significant figure concept, one significant figure, first significant figure, second significant figure, third significant figure, that is how it works. If we are talking about the decimal places, first decimal place, second decimal place, third decimal place, that is how it works, right? And let's say now you want to correct a number. I take 8.358, right? You want to correct this number to first decimal place. No, second decimal place, let's say. Second decimal place that you want to underline the second decimal place. And you look at the next number. And then if it is 5 or more than 5, definitely we need to add 1. No? How we are going to do that? 8.360, and I write this 8.362dp. Why I wrote it like that? That the last digit somehow we keep it as 0, but no point of keeping 0. So then I conclude the answer 8.36, 2 decimal places, right? So then the same number, if I correct it to 8.358, if I correct it to first decimal place, I underline it. I look at the next number. If the next number 5 or more than 5, we add 1 to where we add 1 to the underlying number, that becomes 4. Rest of the 2 digits will be 0. Therefore, I conclude my answer 8.4 and 1 dp. Okay. Then the third one, let's say we have 8.358, and this is the nearest unit. You look at the next one. So then I write 8.000, and here I write 8, then here I write nearest unit. Okay. So this is what you want to learn, the significant figures and the decimal places. Significant figures and decimal places, right? Any number, that is how you convert. Okay. So then what will be your homework? Sorry. Yeah. So then you want to do exercise 7 and 7 star. 7 and 7 star, both the exercises as the homework. Okay, so then we'll meet again on Wednesday. So then this is the theory concept. So then I will explain everything, that the exercise 7 and 7 star, and we have another exercise which we didn't discuss from the last week homework session, and I'll explain everything on Wednesday. Okay, children. So then today we learn about the significant figures and the decimal places and how we are correcting it to a particular significant figure or a decimal place. So based on that, you want to do exercise 7 and 7 star. Okay, children, we'll meet again next day. Till then, stay safe.